Video. I'm being fucked with really bad by some really evil shit. Like in the middle of the night, I had a lot of my soul consciousness. I talked about how I don't like doing videos like this and sounding schizophrenic, but this shit that I'm facing is really fucking real and manipulative and evil, very evil and cruel. It's big on sacrificing people and sacrificing everything that it can on your body. And it's primarily being done by the highest self. From what I understand, there was, I think that the people cursed me. Like I said, I got a German woman by the name of Ingrid Hybrid and all of that. Went to these people for a tarot reading after they heard through them roach attachments what was going on, and made an agreement to sacrifice me. And I heard in the spirit plane that they sacrificed another young woman as well. The highest self of the woman who did the tarot reading for me, her name is Maria Tavarez. Anyways, it's then gotten to the point where, in a very fucked up way, my inner spiritual protection is down to nil and got annihilated by all this evil shit last night that's being done by Maria Tavarez. I saw the Illuminati in my timelines. I saw Jay-Z, no joke. Like I said before in another video, I kept getting a recurrent astral vision when I was a child of Jay-Z. Me and a group of other kids gathered around with Jay-Z around. And with him with security, being flanked by security. And turns out it was showing me that, and this is going back to like 1991, who stole my blessings. He was stealing our blessings is what I'm trying to articulate. I'm sorry if that came out wrong. But that was meant to convey that he had stolen our blessings. And like I said, my inner connection to God, which is evil motherfucker, we all have interconnections to God that's based on ancestors, family, and so forth and so on. He was, all of this makes who you are, a racist, evil motherfucker. And so, for some strange reason, it was offset by bare insanity and all of that. He made a soul contract, well, not a soul contract, but he allowed my blessings to be taken by Jay-Z through the Baphomet, which we all have interconnections to. All of us are inwardly connected to the Baphomet. And so with that being said, I've been getting, it perfectly explains why somebody was telling me years ago, you've been a sacrifice your entire life, and it didn't make any sense to me. And then it hit me, and I saw the opportunities I missed off on. And so anyways, I'm being fucked with, currently being made a sacrifice too through Santa Muerte. The highest self of the woman, she's off camera here. It's at 8704 Broadway by 87th in Broadway in Los Angeles, in South Central. It's not that far from where I used to live, but she's off camera. And I believe, there was a little Mexican guy there. I posted a picture of him. He, hold on. Right. But anyways, from what I understand, and I'm trying to get my thoughts back together. She made me, after unleashing an entity by the name of Dan Arcienega on me, which you can see here, she made me a sacrifice to Santa Muerte. So on top of this curse that I got to grapple with already, that makes your consciousness so externalized to the point where it's way out in the astral plane. That's how dangerous this curse is. You know, including your soul consciousness. She started attacking my soul consciousness. And on a couple of occasions, with what little spiritual protection that I have, I was able to fight her off to some degree. You know, the problem is all the inner entity attachments I got in me. You know, as I was saying before about my connection to God, he ain't shit. They all set me up to be a sacrifice. You know, including the last vestige of supposed inner spiritual protection that I had. Anyways, just like with the Illuminati, this woman, you know, using her lower self, or higher self, or herself, or higher self, was able to, just like these people who put this curse on me, do with their roach attachments, transfer all of my consciousness, I mean, entity attachments connecting me to God and so forth and so on, Jesus, you know, we all have interconnections, depending on your spiritual system, the culture in which you grew up with, you know, to different deities. You know, I'm quite certain if you grew up in Cuba, it could be Jesus. The Far East, it's Buddha. Actually, you know, gods like that, they live in the 8th dimension. Anyways, she transferred my soul consciousness along with entity attachments connecting me to my higher to high selves, to God, and so forth and so on. To her consciousness, to her head, to be technical. I believe to her own self, this higher self, to her own self, or to her lower self. I'm not really sure, to her physical self. But she transferred all of my stuff into her consciousness. And I felt a major difference last night, and threw out a lot of entity attachments of mine connecting me to my family, my ancestors. And, you know, the problem is that, you know, like I said before, I don't have any spiritual protection. Baron Samedi, who set me up to be a sacrifice starting from when I was very, very young, he was the one who set the tone for it. He was the one who was basically giving away parts of my consciousness, entity attachments of my consciousness, to allow people to sacrifice me. And so it's the same with this other entity attachment. Curly-haired white guy with glasses, and, you know, from what I've seen, and you know, he was setting things up so that, you know, instead of doing the spirit work while I'm asleep, wait till I'm awake to start doing spirit, to start putting back together my body and making me physically feel it, you know, which is terrible to say the least. And so I have all of these entities, such as, you know, this woman is not as spiritually strong as I am, but yet she was able to get in because the entity attachments that's supposed to be in charge of my body, of my consciousness, and putting me together, you know, for instance, the curly-haired guy with the glasses who I've seen, set me up to be a sacrifice, and I was told by one of them I'm supposed to be a sacrifice, and I never signed up for that shit. And so this set the stage for me to damn near be dependent upon the very roach attachments that widen open my consciousness and externalize it, and be dependent upon them to help me out. And that's the last vestige of assistance that I have. You know, every time I try to get, spiritual assistance from within, I have to, feel it physically and have it externalized. And I'll be sitting somewhere looking like a schizophrenic, trying to put myself back together, put something back in place that gets torn, outright, usually by that Dan Arcienega entity. It's attached to the consciousness of Mikey Hernandez here. Legitimately, I'm trying to put myself back together. And a couple of weekends ago, I could feel Santa Muerte literally pulling out my consciousness. I could feel her straight up pulling out my consciousness, and I could feel myself damn near losing consciousness. I could feel the difference. I felt like I was about to die, and I surely was. So this shit is real. And the problem is that I'm being made a sacrifice by the very entities that's supposed to be in charge of containing and ensuring the integrity of my body, making sure that I stay alive, making sure that I stay in one piece, instead of setting me up, as a sacrifice for somebody, going back to that August 22nd, 2022 timeline where, like I said, I got a message from, a liquor store owner who was telling me point blank, very level-headed guy. He got a call from somebody sounding exactly like me through static. And then the night before, on August 21st, 2022, I had somebody slap. I felt something while I was walking in a park in Santa Monica, not that far from the manor there. Something slapped the timelines of somebody. I felt like Louisiana, and I'm being told that as part of this curse, I got soul swapped with a person from Destrehan, Louisiana. That's the person who took over my body. I had their ancestral timelines placed on my back. So something ain't right. And then something about this person getting a black card from the Illuminati. I saw Jay-Z and a bunch of other people, the royal family mainly, the Rothschilds, but mainly the royal family, Camilla Parker Bowles. Jay-Z's real name, by the way, is Sean Corey Carter. I kept having that astro vision of him, with me gathered around with a group of other kids. I thought he was MK Ultra, but again, it was him stealing our blessings. I had it going back to 91. He didn't blow up until 1997, so, this shit that I'm dealing with is really fucking real. I'm not just saying shit off the top of my head or, full-on paranoid or schizophrenic. Now, anyways, I saw the Rothschild, the royal family, Camilla Parker Bowles, to some degree Meghan Markle, Prince Harry. I saw mainly Jay-Z. Sean Corey Carter is his real name in my timelines. And from what I understand, that got set up through the person who soul swapped me. I got like an Ashley Tisdale, really a Ashley Terrell, or it was Terlou, or it was some French name. The girl who soul swapped me from Destrehan. I got that she got a black card after offering me up as a sacrifice to the Illuminati as an incarnated God. I'm supposed to be the next EK, and I keep, seeing the attachments for that. But anyways, with that being said, I'm being sacrificed within my own fucking body. I feel helpless, especially at night when this shit really hits me hard. By all this evil shit coming in and forcing its way in and causing me problems. And like I said, I had something yesterday try to put me back together, the earlier guy I was telling you about, and I was being forced to feel it, every single fucking thing, and to like totally not even have a fucking second of a thought in my fucking head while I get put back together. And that's just impossible for the human body to do. You can't, your consciousness ain't supposed to be functioning like that. And it's like the very shit that's in charge of my body wants me dead and wants me to go through hellish torture to keep me out that timeline. So here I am, I've been depending on the roach attachments to help me get back, as well as put me back together. And they've been trying arduously to get rid of a child consciousness. They keep dividing it, sending it to Zendaya, going back to that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline, giving it to that person in that timeline. I saw she was with, what's his name? I'm going to be doing an article about it in a couple of minutes. I saw she was with Lil Wayne. Let me see what his real name is. It's Dwayne Michael Carter. That's Lil Wayne's real name. I find it pivotal to put out somebody's real name because it helps you to see what's going on in the spirit plane. You can use 694 hertz to be able to do that. 117 hertz as well as 1135 hertz remove spirit barriers. With that being said, I had that Maria Tavarez come into my consciousness. Like I said, it's wide. My consciousness is wide open to where it spreads out into the astral plane, into the spirit plane, come in and say, I want that nigger as a sacrifice. It's wetbag. She a wetbag bitch. She don't like blacks. And, from what I understand, she's big on sacrificing black women in the spirit plane. I had her charging in, trying to take whatever she could and anything that she could. And me and what little of a spirit team I have left, again, I had an entity attachment of Madonna trying to steal a part of my consciousness that correlates to my strength and almost dead. I can't deal with this shit. I can't deal with this evil ass fucking shit. This is the most evil ass shit because it's something that goes on within, but it's something that's mad motherfucking real. And it's something that actually legitimately takes a toll on you. So anyways, with that being said, I had her come in, barging in, talking about, I want her as a sacrifice. I want her as a sacrifice. She's supposed to be a sacrifice. And I'm just like feeling helpless while this woman's higher self is barging in saying she's supposed to be a sacrifice. And, if I try to play like a frequency, they'll do something to block it, to block my ability to get something back, or else I'll be told, you lose this if you do that, if you play this. And it's, you play something for a while and, it takes care of the situation. And meanwhile, it's like I can't even have a thought or say something in my head because I got these evil ass motherfuckers like Maria Tavarez, the Illuminati, that's connected to my consciousness. Again, from what I understand, my family, entity attachments of them, as well as my family, going back to that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline, got placed into Jay-Z's, Sean Corey Carter's consciousness as a sacrifice. With that being said, it has a lot to do with he also, I believe, has my interconnection to my Baphomet. It's like the minute I say something within my own fucking head, I have evil shit that acts on it and starts to remove it. And currently, you know, I'm operating down to not even my soul consciousness, barely. And it's hell trying to put yourself back together and having shit that, relies on your shit being wide fucking open for them to be able to fucking do any sort of spiritual work. Meanwhile, you're left vulnerable to evil ass pernicious shit like Maria Tavarez that, I'm feeling it right now where she's trying to eliminate, part of my consciousness that, something that could fuck me up. Left vulnerable to evil shit like that sets you up to be a sacrifice. And I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I feel vulnerable, and I feel I'm seeing Jacob Elordi in my timelines now, really, really fucking bad. Something about him joining the Illuminati or some shit like that. Let me show you his picture. Like I said before in another video, I know I sound mad fucking schizophrenic, but what I'm facing is really fucking real. It's mad motherfucking real. They've been taking over, I believe, at one point they tried to go after the spiritual gangster, where he said that they were turning his ancestors against him. That's what they were doing to me, turning my inner connection to Oshun against me, using my Yamaya. That's what Maria Tavarez was doing the other day. Her and Santa Muerte. And I've been taking iron tablets. I heard that helps with something like this. Vitamin E, which strengthens your consciousness. But anyways, it's, I feel locked. Not locked. I wish I was. Locked would mean protected. But it's a terrible feeling to feel like restrained in your own consciousness, constrained, like trapped. And that's exactly how I fucking feel. In my own fucking head, which should be my own fucking domicile. I shouldn't have all this evil ass shit occurring in it. No, I feel like this shit just playing fucking games with me. Now I got another entity that's about to leave that's going to make it harder for me to get my shit back. This is just fucking disturbing. So anyways, with that being said, this is just, I need to have spiritual protection from within, and I don't have that. There was another entity, the highest self of a man by the name of Robert Haight, who I used to know in Malibu. I don't like the guy at all. He has an energy of white supremacy attached to him. And this egotistical motherfucker, his highest self, came in. And like I said, I know this all sounds motherfucking schizophrenic, but it isn't. And supposedly made a deal with the Illuminati to take all my motherfucking shit. You can use 295 hertz combined with 695 hertz to get somebody's stuff back, along with 1714 hertz, along with 1715 hertz, and 3517 hertz can put somebody back together, as well as 35771 hertz, and as well as 117 hertz and 800 hertz. My whole thing is just to end this ordeal, get all this evil ass shit off of me, get back to that fucking timeline. Roach attachments off, to be honest with you, that widens your consciousness. Get my child consciousness back to the way it originally was. Just set everything back, and not to be tormented from within by the very same entity attachments like Baron Samedi and another entity attachment that was fucking with me royally. You know, have all of that, you know, put back in place. And I keep getting this feeling that the minute I say something on camera or even say something in my head, my own fucking head, something is going to act on it. Like I'm feeling Maria Tavarez right now getting ready to fuck with something. But, you know, I had a roach attachment that had entered in. It's just, it's terrible. It's terrible to be going through what I'm going through. So anyways, and it's hell just trying to put myself back together. So with that being said, I'm going to try my best with what little of my third eye I got left. I'm feeling shit poking at me right now and tearing at me. I'm going to go ahead and do a reading for y'all today. It is cold as a motherfucker out here. You know, the place where I'm staying at right now, you know, it's not a living shelter. You know, unfortunately, they make you leave at a certain time. And so, oh, here's my cards right here. And so, you know, that's just... So anyways, I'm also going to be doing a, you know, article about, you know, what's been going on with the whole thing with Jay-Z. I mean, this Illuminati shit... You know, I started getting people in the spirit plane. You can use 2548 hertz, which is like the hand of God, the power of God to go after them. 8147 hertz if they take your shit, as well as 8127 hertz that actually works best. With that being said, you know, it all goes back to that August the 22nd, 2022 timeline, the whole commencement of these problems here. You know, like I said, if I had inner spiritual protection to begin with, to start off with, this, I would, you know, my enemy shouldn't be coming from within. I mean, Maria Tavarez, they own like a simple botanic at 8704 Broadway. They shouldn't... You know, I keep telling what little of my spirit team I got left, roach attachments and shit. This shit should, my consciousness shouldn't be out like this. This shit should not be coming in. This bitch is not even like a level A spiritually powerful person, and yet they're able to fucking come in. They're not, you know, it's just, it's lunacy. This shit wouldn't happen if my consciousness wasn't exteriorized, and if I had better spiritual protection that was actually looking out for me. I would have never got compromised to begin with if I had shit looking out for me. I mean, you know, I found out in the spirit plane today, you know, shit with my fucking entities, parts of my consciousness with my entities. And the scariest thing is that Dubbock, there in RC Indigo, I'm going to show you his picture. You know, he was actually, I saw him in physical form, letting you know the seriousness of it. He's a Dubbock. You can use, let me see, what was the, I think it's 52, 53, hold on. 5429 hertz or 5249 hertz to be able to get rid of them. Try, you know, as much as you can, but like I say, they play trickery with frequencies. You know, whenever it concerns me, you can use 3400 hertz to correct it. But anyways, with that being said, I saw that Maria Tavarez, using that Dan Arcianic entity, was able to make me leave my body. And from what I saw in the spirit plane, I'm distant. I'm outside of my body. And I saw a black cube right next to my body, which signifies death. So this wetback ass bitch actually had me killed in the spirit plane and had me sacrificed to Santa Muerte in her physical self. It's, from what I understand, it happened on May the 1st, 2024. Her intentions is to make it so that I stay out of my body. And here, again, are the people that's behind it. Keeps fucking with my consciousness and stealing parts of it so that she could keep me out of my body and keep me dead. so that she can continue to steal my shit and have me stuck in the hell realm. And from what I understand, she's done it to like a young Hispanic or white girl or something that went to that same shop again. It's these wetbag bitches here, but the one who did the reading for me, she's off camera. And it's at 8704 Broadway Street, by 87 in Broadway in South Central Los Angeles. And, you know, I'm just going to say it again. Shit, I went to them to get clarification outside of all this wicked shit that I got around me. It's just, you know, it's been curse upon curse upon curse through that Ingrid Hybrid woman. I saw entity attachments of Jacob Elordi, Madonna attached to energy vampire for me. From what I understand, the highest self or higher self of Jacob Elordi is the one who set it up. His name is Ian Tatterfield or Tatefield. And you know, Madonna, her higher self's name is Maria. It's Loriana or something. Lourdes Urantia. Her real name is Madonna Ciccone. And I think that's the same name of her highest self, but she's done taken so much of me as a sacrifice that, you know, her name alters in the spirit plane.